Today is Monday, July 29, 2024. I'm Pastor Michael, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Our text is from Psalm 37. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Verse 4. These words have been carved on many a plaque to adorn our kitchen walls and encased in picture frames for our living rooms. Sometimes preachers will choose it for a sermon text, leaving their congregations with the impression that if they just love the Lord enough, all will be well with them, as they define wellness. The trouble is that these words are often ripped out of the context in which they have been passed down to us. Psalm 37 is not a don't worry, be happy kind of prayer. It begins, do not fret because of evil men or be envious of those who do wrong. It's not about God giving us what we want. It is about worry, or rather moving towards a worry-free life. But even that is not quite accurate. The psalm invites us towards lives in which we exchange despair for hope. Notice that it's not quite a prayer, not directed towards God. If anything, it is directed toward God's community of faith. Why is despair so prevalent in the song? Because of evil and people who commit evil. They are everywhere and appear to have the upper hand. They commit acts of injustice and they get away with it. Such people seem to have all the power, and the powerless simply get walked on. Inviting us away from worry and, I think, uncontrollable rage at injustice, the psalmist views life from the perspective of God's promises, his commitment to bring justice in his own time. The psalmist is getting impatient. We can relate to that. All the places in the world where human conflict is creating refugees, and the constant killings in our communities are just a few examples. But also the tragedy of cancer, roadway accidents, and the deaths of those still in the prime of life. We can relate to the psalmist's desire for justice now. As the piece is composed, the singer remembers that in the end, evildoers will get their due, and the righteous will inherit the land. Jesus' beatitude, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth, Matthew 5:5, is a succinct summary of the psalm. Why doesn't the psalmist just give us Jesus' synopsis instead of going on and on? It's formed around the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So as we read it and pray it, our hearts slow down. As our brain waves follow suit, we ingest the truth that God will set all things right in his time. God did say, I am making all things new, Revelation 21:5. Along the way, we are offered advice that leads towards less worry. Trust God, verse 3. He is able and willing to bring justice. Commit your lives to him, verse 5. Entrusting our plans and futures into the loving arms of our Heavenly Father. When Jesus said, I am with you always to the very end of the age, he was echoing one of the deepest melodies of the Old Testament. We are encouraged to take delight in him, verse 4, so that our desires change. We lose our own evil intentions and long only for the righteousness of his kingdom. God will fulfill those desires. There is no mocking of grief here. There is a deep recognition that much is wrong in this world. The message is strong. Evil will not have the final say. God's justice will come. God's justice means no more sickness and no more death, no more hunger and no more poverty. God himself will dry our tears. Read the psalm again, considering the visions of the new heaven and the new earth in the final chapters of Isaiah and Revelation. Let hope fill your heart. As you journey on, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May your day end with rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May you rest in his provision as he brings night and then new dawn.